Hi, I'm Brian. Thanks for checking out my Anchor Reporter reel, but I want to give you a heads up. You might not recognize the guy coming up, especially in the stories from Baltimore. Like a lot of folks my age, I had high cholesterol. So I looked at my 6-year-old daughter and decided I needed to do something about it. It's amazing what eating right and exercise will do for you. My cholesterol dropped more than 180 points. I also dropped more than 60 pounds in the process. I hope you enjoy the demo. If you're interested, my contact information is at the end on the slate, or feel free to send me a message through YouTube. Instead of writing a check or using a credit card to protect your personal financial information, Wilson says to use an ATM or debit card along with a PIN. And that's the winning combination. I mean, take a look at the sidewalks out here. They are actually very, very icy. You come over to the curb, same situation. You can certainly imagine the little ones loaded up with the backpacks trying to make their way to school. As a matter of fact, we're right across from Rogers Forge Elementary, so those delays probably a good idea. To give you an idea how low water levels are, Lake Townsend is about 3 feet below where it should be. In fact, right here where I'm standing, I should be waist deep in water. Jacqueline is facing criminal charges. She's accused of writing worthless checks. Her first court date is set for July 29th. Now, at this point, she has no money and no credit, so she is waiting for a court-appointed attorney. Stem cell research is taking place here in the States through private funding. Money is trickling into the controversial research. Now, overseas, it's a different story. Governments are pouring money into stem cell research, possibly leaving America behind. Training scenarios are designed to be as true to life as possible. Bullet casings, propane bombs litter the hallways, and the officers involved say it really gets the blood flowing.
Fire Rescue Boat 1, Fire Boat 1, go ahead.
Fire Rescue Boat 1, where exactly do they want me located?
Baltimore's inner harbor growing upward and outward by the day.
Tens of thousands of people now live on the water, thousands upon thousands of boats.
For those in charge of keeping everyone safe, a big job just keeps getting bigger.
So this is all property and lives that need to be protected.
That's where this comes in.
This is great. I mean, this is the first new boat we've had in probably 50 years. It's long overdue. But this isn't just any old boat.
You saw how easily this thing handles. I mean, it's just everything's push buttons.
It's a $6.5 million state-of-the-art multitask response vessel.
It's an exciting thing.
Thermal imaging cameras, radar. We're no longer just a fire boat. We respond to terrorist threats, chemical spills. In a new day and age, everything is Homeland Security oriented.
A big safety feature is this closed-circuit television system. The captain can keep an eye on important equipment down here in the engine room, or the crew out on the deck. The captain can even see the whole ship all at once. The fireboat can pump out more than 7,000 gallons of water a minute and travel about 20 miles an hour. It has a galley emergency room and is command center ready.
It's long overdue, and it's something that we really need.
While some folks might raise an eyebrow at the multi-million-dollar price tag, the firefighters say it's money well spent.
Because we're a port city, and Baltimore is part of a state that, you know, there's a lot of shoreline in the state.
You don't need it that often, but when you need it, you need it.
Brian Morin, Fox 45 News, late edition. Yeah, it's not very pleasant out here. I'll tell you what, Jennifer, as folks look out their window this morning and see all the white stuff, do not be fooled. I do not believe this is snow that we're looking at. I do believe that it is sleet. I mean, take a look at this stuff. These are ice crystals. This is a good talking point for Steve or Lisa, who's coming up in a minute or two. This is not snow, and I'll tell you, the wind has picked up, and as it hits your skin, it stings. Let me go ahead and show you the roads. All morning, folks are finally starting to come out of their homes to clear off those cars. I'm joined now by Chris Thompson. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what do you think of the wonderful weather we're having?
Well, it's going to make for a nice long drive this morning.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. Where are you headed?
I got to head down to Jessup this morning to my office, but just going to take my time.
And that's usually about how long of a trip?
About 30 to 40 minutes on a good day.
And what do you think about today?
Actually, probably about an hour. You know, roads aren't going to be as crowded, but it's going to be slow moving.
Not too bad. And you told me a little quick story about your kids before we went on air here. Would you share that with us?
Yeah, my kids have been planning for a ski trip with Towson Rec Council now for the past 2 weeks, and for the past 2 Wednesdays now the trip's been canceled because school's been canceled because of snow. So,
how ironic is that?
it's pretty bad.
Too bad we couldn't cancel work, right?
Yep, that's right.
All right, well, thank you, Chris. Thanks for joining us today, and be safe out there. Slow down, take it easy on the roads. That's the word. NFL tight end Dallas Clark is lending a hand to the tornado-ravaged town of Bradgate, Iowa. The former Iowa star now plays as a tight end for the Indianapolis Colts, helped to raise more than $17,000 for the victims of the tornado. Clark, who's from the nearby town of Livermore, drove through Bradgate to see the damage firsthand. He says the tornado was devastating and he just wanted to help out. The investigation of a baby's body found in a Siouxland River continues. Back on Thursday, a passerby spotted the baby in the North Fork River in Norfolk, Nebraska. A witness says she saw a woman walking with a toddler and an infant shortly before the gruesome discovery. Now, based on autopsy results, that woman is not a suspect at this time. Police say they continue to follow up on leads, but they haven't cracked the case. Anyone with information is asked to call the Norfolk Police Department. That number is right there on your screen, 402-644-8700. Two insurance companies are suing the French manufacturer of the medical helicopter that crashed in Norfolk 2 years ago on Monday. The lawsuits were filed this week in federal court. The filings come 2 weeks after the National Transportation Safety Board ruled that a faulty tail rotor as well as an inexperienced pilot were the likely causes of that crash. The LifeNet helicopter had just left the Norfolk Hospital when it crashed at the airport and killed all three. All right, Justin, so I poked my head out a little before the newscast, and it started to rain, and I'm thinking about those folks down there on 4th Street. Awesome Harley Nights is still going on until midnight.
Yeah, they're not going to have to deal with it for too much longer because it's really flying by, but
that's good news.
So
after
really
the news,
chilly
if you
out
want to
there
head
last
down
night.
there, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you might think of them as tough, rough, and possibly even mean, but Harley riders come in all shapes and sizes and come from all different backgrounds these days. Tonight at 10 o'clock, we'll have more on the riders, where they come from, and find out if they've softened up over the years. Hopefully they don't hear me saying that either. Well, now you got doctors and lawyers on them as well. I want to talk about Soapbox Derby.
It's awesome. It's my main thing.
I know.
They're trying to get me in a car. Maybe.
I was just going to ask if you hopped in one of those cars yet and gone down and gotten beaten by one of those kids yet. All right. Thanks, Len. Today, dozens of police officers in combat gear flooded an Ithaca school. They were hunting for a suspect armed and dangerous. Breathe easy, though. This time, it was just practice. It's the third and final day of active response training, a trend that's growing in law enforcement.
We're doing our best to keep up with the times. It's an unfortunate thing that we're dealing with in society today, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down.
The Twin Tiers are no stranger to school violence. The Williamsport shooting and the Southside bomb scare are proof of that. Looking forward, active shooter response training is aimed at protecting cops and students in the future.
We need to make sure that all our officers are as best prepared as possible if they have to deal with a major incident like this.
Somebody please help me!
Training scenarios are designed to be as true to life as possible. Bullet casings, propane bombs litter the hallways, and the officers involved say it really gets the blood flowing.
Tensions are high, adrenaline is running. We are shooting, we are moving, we are rescuing just like we normally would, that we're trained to do.
We actually do treat it as if there's something actually happening, and it makes us feel, I mean, you know, I get it pumping.
But thankfully, it's not the real thing this time. But if violence breaks out in an area school again, police will be ready. In Ithaca, Brian James, News Channel 36.